From Saudi Arabia's King Salman in Beijing to China's Premier Keqiang in Australia, China is growing its role in global diplomacy. Hello, I'm Anand Naidu in Washington, D.C., and this is The Heat. Saudi Arabia's King Salman traveled to China with a large entourage this month, where the two governments signed 35 deals worth $65 billion. For China, it's the latest step into the Middle East, and it's just one visit in what's been a month of growing foreign relations for China. For a look at China's growing role in global diplomacy, CGTN's Wang has this report.
China has been quite active in diplomacy in March. Saudi Arabia's King Salman wrapped up a visit to Beijing earlier this month, reiterating his commitment to China's Belt and Road Initiative and the Saudi-China relationship in general. The two countries signed 14 agreements and memorandums of understanding to deepen cooperation in various areas, including energy, investment, finance, culture, and aerospace. Beijing also opened the door to talks between Middle East rebels, Saudi Arabia, and Iran through this visit. Chinese Foreign Minister Wang said ahead of the visit that China sees itself as a friend to both countries and hopes Saudi Arabia and Iran can resolve their differences through talks. Chinese Premier Keqiang traveled to Australia and New Zealand from the 22nd to 29th. Beijing set aside fears that Australia would have to choose between China, its largest trading partner, and the U.S., its biggest ally. China and Australia inked a series of agreements between the two major Asia-Pacific economies. The two countries also started negotiations to further expand the China-Australia Free Trade Agreement to other fields, particularly services and investment. During these travels, New Zealand became the first developed Western countries to sign a cooperation agreement with China on the Belt and Road Initiative. One of the most important bilateral relations in the world, that of the China and the U.S., seems to have found a good rhythm as U.S. Secretary of State Rex Tillerson paid his visit to China this month. While Chinese President Xi Jinping said cooperation is the only correct choice for both countries, Tillerson vowed the U.S. is ready to develop relations with China based on the principles of non-confrontation, no conflict, mutual respect, and win-win cooperation. Tillerson's reiteration of the One China policy is a positive sign for China-U.S. relations. Despite earlier inappropriate words and actions from the new U.S. administration, relations between China and the U.S. seem to have gradually come back on track. And now, Chinese President Xi Jinping and American President Donald Trump are expected to meet in coming weeks to consolidate the relationship. Wang, CGTN, Beijing.